Hey everybody, it's the Wargaming Guy, and this is my, I don't know, going on my third hour trying to fix the audio in this. I've actually recorded a second audio, and it wouldn't work, and the problem is, sure enough, it's in Corel Video, the Corel, whatever it's called, Studio, whatever it's called, it's completely jacking up my audio, so I'm obviously going to have to get a new video software, so... Having said all of that, let's jump into this game that I have been trying to get to for a long time. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and finish him off, so that's good. And this whole section of the line down here near Switzerland just it drives me batty, but, you know, this is what we have presented to us, so this is what we deal with. I'm going to pull him back just to get him back into some fortifications, and we're just going to kind of see what's going on here. There's not really much you can do here without an influx of units, at least in my extremely limited experience dinking around with this scenario before I started to record this. So now here we are in the big thrust to try to, what I want to do is, of course, a pincer kind of movement or something to cut off Verdun, surround it, and then eliminate it. Yes, they do have a city there which they can draw supply from, but once we can cut their supply from the main part of France, that should hurt their supply rating, hurt their morale, hurt their effectiveness, so... That's where we want to go. And then eventually, of course, if we can take Verdun, that will be a huge blow to French morale, you would think. So that's the plan, people. So here we go. We're trying to get this guy out of the way. We're trying to widen the breach here, push the shoulders back a little bit, because we don't have a lot of room at this point. And the way this video is playing that I'm watching while I'm talking to you is kind of really slow. So hopefully this is going to work. Because if it doesn't, I may have to kill myself. I know it's a terrible thing to say, but honestly, I am so frustrated. Oh, look, a U.S. headquarters. That may be the first one of those we've seen in the game so far. And of course, we got the Marines right there, the U.S. Marines. Yes, so... Not at WW1, not yet, but they're up here. And so we may have to destroy them as well, as sad as that will make me. And so we're going to, and this was a surprise to me in this game, how many of the artillery units are not upgraded. I kind of thought going in, most of them would have been upgraded. But and I think the ones right around where the breakthrough kind of historically took place were upgraded, but the rest of them aren't. So... I think it's worth the time and the MPPs to upgrade the artillery, because without the artillery, you're going to go not very far, not very fast. Same thing with my, I hate to call them panzers, but, you know, my tanks. Such as they are, we're going to get that unit as big as possible so that we can hopefully do some damage with them, reinforce that big weak points in our lines here. And just basically get ready for next time. There doesn't seem to be much of a chance this turn to break through there, but maybe next turn. Meanwhile, yeah, I'm just checking to see how close we are to Paris. We're not that far, actually. And look at this. We've got a nice little setup here. Ugh, French artillery's everywhere, man. Okay, so we damaged him more than we damaged ourselves, which is nice. So, some artillery out. Be cool to really... Yeah, we took a big chunk out of him. We didn't kill him, though, unfortunately. And this guy... Yeah, we're going to take some risks here. We don't really have enough divisions to cover the whole front and drive through and around, so we're going to have to leave at some point. We're going to have to leave some open spots in our line, which is dangerous, but you know, I don't think for a lot of the front it's that dangerous. I am worried about the British front because they've got a lot of really good units. So here we're trying to widen the breach, and we're also working towards surrounding those 3 divisions you see there. Very close to it now. because that would be great to get some of them. So let's see if we can see. That surprised me when I hit the. It's an even exchange with the artillery. Pardon the yawn, which is unusual. Usually, cavalry does not stand up well to infantry, but in that case, they did. They were a pretty strong unit. They're in a town, so I don't know. All right, here we go. Time to do some bombarding. See if we can weaken this guy's morale and readiness. He doesn't have any entrenchments left, so unfortunately he can't reach him. So here we go. Let's see if we can wipe this guy out, or at least nearly wipe him out. Meanwhile, let's press on. And boom. All right. He can't go any further. And then I did that, which was a mistake. Lost a point and only took 2 out of him, so that stinks. But we have the big boy here. So we're going to bring him down and spank that guy and lose nothing in return, which is nice. So that widens the breach in the line, which is excellent. But it's going to have to get wider than this to sustain a drive all the way to Paris. Because it's not, on one hand, it's not that far, but it's far enough to make, you want to have a really wide base to your breach if you're going to go that far into the enemy territory. So there we go. We've softened him up with scout planes. Now we're going to see if we can pick on him here. Yeah, he unfortunately already fired. He didn't, but that's not great odds. So we're going to not do it. Look at this. That's amazing. Almost wipe him out in one shot. Almost. Only got 8 instead of 9. But little switcheroony here, and boom, Mr. French unit is gone. So that's awesome. And we keep pushing down. Yeah, I'm gonna get the HQ down there. I wanna try to keep an HQ or 2 if we can get this breach wide enough. Really push them down to make sure that the lead units stay in the command control, because I think that's important. Okay, where am I going to put him? Not sure. On the one hand, I want to really make sure this main effort's really reinforced, but on the other hand, I do need troops elsewhere. So it's a kind of a balancing act as to where to put them, and then I got another one around here somewhere. Ah, there he is. And this guy, going to operate. Yeah, we'll just put him right. No, maybe over here. Yeah, we're going to put him there and try and push through that next turn. And now I'm looking around to see if we have any more reserves, any more units out there, which we do not. So that's the way that goes. And yeah, for some reason I had in my head that we had more stuff out there than we did. All right, time to do some more upgrading and try to figure out how many of these units can I pull away from this northern front and move down to the drive on Paris without making it too thin. You know, you want to reinforce your main drive, but at the same time, if the British break through down there and, you know, drive over the Rhine, well, you haven't really accomplished much. So that's where I'm trying to strike a balance there, and I don't know how good of a job I'm doing or not. decided to push him forward. Every hex forward is, just helpful. One less hex I got to move next time. And now it's time to buy. Get me some reinforcements. So I'm going to pick up some detachments because they do come in handy, maybe on the part of the line down by Switzerland, or maybe you can use them, obviously in defense, but you can also use them in offense to sort of send out ahead to really drive deep and disrupt the enemy positions. Probably end up dying, but you know what? If they hold the infantry off, the enemy off for a turn or two, and a detachment dies, I think that's a pretty good use of a detachment. So, we'll see. They're useful to have around, and obviously they're cheaper than a division. So 957, lots of MPPs for the Germans in this game, and the poor Austrians. I'm not even sure. Maybe the way the game is coded, the Austrians have to be there, but they have nothing. There was hardly any real, country of Austria-Hungary left by this point anyway. Now, here's where I always, when I play the AI, it's always this thing with the AI. You'll see units like that disappearing or moving, and you're thinking, yeah, they're pulling back, yeah, they're doing this, and then all of a sudden, a little bit later in the turn, new units will pop up on the front. So the AI does a lot of repositioning its troops, a lot more than humans do. So I always try to make myself not get too excited when I see that, because it's probably not really meaning they're pulling back. Sometimes it does, but that's probably not the deal. And I think I made a big mistake up there leaving that 5-point unit in the front line. I just noticed that was really not a good idea. We'll see if the AI decides to be merciful. Looks like they're going to pick on one of these corner units. AI loves to do that, and it's a smart move. You can get 3 or more units, hex fronts to attack through. That's obviously better than just using 1 or 2. And so look at that corner. It's ripe for destruction. And look at this. Boy, the Frenchies are coming up with some 11 pointers, man. Dang. Well, he's down to 9 now, but we'll see what happens here. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to help much, but good work, boys. Fire that artillery. It's probably not going to help. Oh, boy. And it's a cavalry unit, and it still took 3 points off of me. Man, I'm telling you, these Brits are... good. Dang it. Just wiped them out. So I lost that hex. Not that the hex in and of itself is important or that big of a deal. It's just, you just hate to lose ground. And half my artillery unit is gone in one shot. Gee. Now you'll notice the opening here is pretty wide at this point. It's like 4 hexes, and then you got a French unit and then another hex. So we're starting to push those shoulders open, which is good. And now let's see. Oh, they're beaming. Scotty's beaming the units right into the front line there. And let's see if my intelligence will actually be intelligent. Okay, that's good to know. And that guy's there, and more artillery's there, and more reinforcements are coming in, but only in a specific spot, which I'm sure is historical, but it is also too very annoying. But that's the way it goes. All right. Obviously, we got some issues here, people. So we're going to try and do the old switcheroony and entrench this boy. Look at that. He just only has one side. We want more than one side. Of course we do. And we got to get him rotated to the right spot. That's a little tricky sometimes. And yeah, you need to get the heck out of Dodge. You need to come up here. You don't need to attack, though. You don't need to attack. There's the long-range artillery. But I was an idiot and I attacked. So I only took him down 2 and I took myself down 1. But he only has a 1 hex front, so he's probably going to be all right. Okay, we're reinforcing. So far, nothing really bad's happening up here, but it just concerns me because I think the British are unit for unit. They're better than the French, and they may be as good as the Germans. Maybe. They're certainly close. So, but look at that. We have a little corner here we might be able to pick on. So let's see what we can do. Got him down to 1 entrench. Got him down to should be none now. That morale's still pretty high though. But I got a lot more shells to throw at him. So let's see if we can drive that morale and readiness down. Oh yeah, look at that. Morale's below 50. Love it. So fun to watch this happen to your enemy. It's miserable to watch it happen to your own units. Nice. Last shot. 32% morale. Look at that. Boom. 4 points gone. 4 more gone. Now can you take him out? Yes. Very nice. I will not advance because the only thing that does is make a target out of me. And I don't want to try and start another drive right there right now anyway. So we'll just leave that for them to do whatever it is they're going to do with it. Meanwhile, we got this big old unit down here and I'm about to make a mistake. And that's the mistake I think I made there. I mean, I think, I don't know if it's a mistake, but I just wonder if I shouldn't have hit the arty. But whatever. He's gone now, so we don't have to worry about it. And we take whatever that town is. I can't think of the name of it right off the bat, and I can't read it on my screen. So that's good. So we did all right. I mean, you know, and the arty's down to 4 now, so it's obviously not exactly anything to worry too much about. Now we got our boys here, our little pocket that's developing, and this is something I'd like to do more of if I can manage it. Cut off, you know, like chunks and then chew them up and swallow them and just keep moving forward. That's not only obviously reducing the number of units you're facing, but it should have an impact on the morale eventually, if not right away. So my tanks hit them. They did all right. They didn't like devastate them, but blam, that did. So they're gone. And yeah, let's entrench here because the Allies may come pushing. They got 2 U.S. and 2 French divisions sitting there. All right, we're going to see if we can weaken him a little bit. He's down to no entrenchments. His morale stinks. It's at 22. Yeah, 19 now. That's not great. Bam. But they're still, notice that? I'm still not getting the full numbers that I'm predicting to get. So they're still hanging in there pretty well. This should polish them off. Boom. Nice. So we get a little morale bonus out of that, I guess. And come down here and see if we can't get this guy. Nice, tidy little thing if we could work it out, but it might not work out, but that's okay. And keep the HQ close. Move that artillery up. Wish I just had one more unit to take a shot at that French artillery unit, because probably wipe him out, but sadly I don't. All right, so those guys are not done, but close to being done. Half strength and cut off pretty firmly. I mean, they might break through, but I doubt it. There we go, even weaker, and that's cool. All right, how far down do I want him to go? I'm so tempted to just shoot, you know, as far as I can, but you get into a lot of trouble doing that, as I should know, because it happens to me a lot. So we'll just do that, and looky there. Had some Americans and Frenchmen waiting to catch me if I did what I wanted to do. Right. So you notice we've got basically a breach here. It's only 2x's wide, so it's not wide enough, but it's not bad. So let's see if we can't make it wider and crumple in. Notice all the units that you can see now that I've used air power there. There's a lot of units in Verdun, as you would expect. So if we can cut them off, cripple them, and then crush them, that would be amazing in terms of morale and everything else. So take him out, boy. Almost. All right, now we'll take him out. Got it. So the Verdun pocket, it's not a pocket yet, it's a salient. The Verdun salient is under siege here, and it definitely, if you were the Allied player, you would definitely be concerned about this. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now we're running into this problem I mentioned earlier about not enough units. So you got to pick your spots where you want to leave holes, which is bad. But what are you going to do? Got to do something, So that's kind of what I'm thinking through here is like, okay, where would be the better spot to leave a hole? And there we go. Let's turn that around, give him some digging in there, and trying to find some other weak points that just aren't that many. This guy should be able to be reinforced now. Only by 2 points, but it's better than nothing, I guess. Yeah, I check, but there's just nothing. Nothing happening here. Apparently there's nothing happening on his side either because he's not attacking. So if he just wants to sit there, that's okay. So looking for a spot where I can make some progress here, and I'm not finding much. French artillery. French artillery! All right, now let's get him. No, let's not. And look at that. I lost 2 points on that. Bam! Finally got him. Yes. So we're starting to punch, maybe. I wouldn't say punch through. We're denting the line. How's that? And will we do it? I don't know. Gotta think about this. Checking my air power. Yeah, got to keep them strong too. And I'm going to start moving them to make sure they're able to reach the front of my drive towards Paris. Got to keep the air power there for sure. Now, who can I pull out of here and not weaken the line too much? This is what I'm looking at right now, trying to figure it out. What should I do? Okay, so entrench, whatever. These guys are just not in a good spot. These 2 guys sticking out here, I imagine the AI is going to try to get one and then the other. That's usually what happens. So we'll see. We may have to pull them back all the way. Hey, look at that. We got a 1 cheapo division. And now we'll buy just the full cost, boys, until, whoops, nope. So what about an entrenchment? A detachment, good grief. Yeah, let's pick up a few more of those. We need the bodies. Detachments could also do well to cover quiet sections of the line while you send your divisions off to punch through somewhere. So I'm all for that. All right. Yes, Soissons is ours, and the French are sad about that. Too bad. So, yes, and we plundered because we're hungry. Yes, the German troops are hangry, as we would say nowadays. Yeah. Let's see what they do here. Kind of pulling back. Maybe, or maybe just redeploying. I don't trust them. Don't trust the AI. Never trust the AI. Meanwhile, the Verdun salient is still kind of there. And they're not pushing back too hard on it yet on the one side where the big drive is. That's a little surprising. Something popped in there, but that's it. I don't know what it is, and it doesn't seem to be attacking, so. Okay, so digging in. Notice they're not reinforcing these units. I don't know what that means. Are they low on MPPs, or does the AI feel that entrenchment's more important than reinforcements if you've only got 1 or 2 point difference? That would be something interesting for people that can do math to figure out. I suspect it might be better to entrench first if you're like at 8 or 9 as opposed to 5 or something. Okay, so look at that. I'm only a couple of hexes there in the Argonne Forest. I can cut off Verdun. Okay, so now we're reinforcing. Hey, I love to see this. So nice. Very good. All right, so now more reinforcements at specific places. So let's bring him down so that we can have a little more punch here for the top part of the drive to cut off Verdun. Meanwhile, I'm about to do something stupid here. Watch this. I knew it when I did it, but I couldn't stop myself. Sometimes I just can't resist. Watch this. I think this is it. Okay. Whoop. Nope. Come back in a minute. I decided to do something else first. Okay, so got to get these guys to the front. And look at this. This is beautiful. When you can rail guys right up to the front line like that, that is awesome. And then you can move the guys behind them forward to attack, and then next turn they're ready to attack. So you can sort of get that steamroller thing going if if things work right. All right, now I want to try to push that shoulder back, but this time I'm thinking maybe try the British. But first, let's kill this guy because we know he's easy meat. And he was. And my artillery is pokey slow. Okay, so we're going to move them. Boom. I hate to lose 2, but I didn't. I lost 3. So I'm thinking to put my tanks in the woods, but no. Maybe. Let's see what we're going to do. And yes, good. Keep them out of the woods. If you can. And the stupid artillery, which is going to diminish my strike, but it's still a pretty good blow there, so maybe. No, he didn't kill him. It's so frustrating. You, sir, come down and kill them. Thank you. All right, so 2 French divisions in short order have been wiped off the map, which is awesome. And another stupid move. Watch this. Bam! I lost 3 points running into cavalry. Cavalry. Now, I don't know if the infantry on the sides there contributed to that, but that's another 11-point French unit. Dang, these Frenchies, man. They're getting some big units. That does not make me happy. Okay, we'll block him. Yeah, I'm gonna get these guys going. It's frustrating because I want to punch through over here, but I want to keep the main drive going. So this game does a good job of this scenario of making you think through your allocation of resources. 'Cause you gotta think about it. All right, so no. Oh yes. Now we're gonna see if we could maybe push this British unit back. That's not going to happen this turn. We weakened him quite significantly. Wait, there's more. Ooh, now he's really weak. Because again, push those shoulders out wider, and maybe the AI will bring more British troops down this way, which I don't want too many of them, but I want a few so I feel a little more comfortable about up north here. Because I'm not totally comfortable with that. The British concern me. And now, observe. I'm about to bombard these guys, which normally, of course, reduces, for every bombardment, their entrenchment values. You will notice that this is not happening here. I don't know what kind of entrenchments they have up in Belgium, but apparently they're pretty awesome, because I am bombarding the snot out of them and they're not losing any entrenchment value. Their morale is dropping slightly, and their readiness is dropping slightly, but their fortifications are just fine. So these boys are dug in, like really dug in. And then you look at your attack values and you realize you can weaken them, but it's going to cost you a lot. And I just don't think it's worth it. At least not now. Maybe later. If we could get their national morale to drop a bit, that would help, because that pulls down everybody's morale. And here we go. We got to upgrade some more artillery units. Somehow didn't get upgraded. And we're going to shift this guy over. And yep. So what do we do here? Oh, there's the stupid move. And watch what happens. Blam. He lost 4 points. 4 flipping points. That's like, wow, that's bad. So I extended my drive into the rear of Verdun, but it's being held by one infantry division with 70% casualties. This does not make me happy or confident. And look what my bombers they suffered huge losses there. So the French are fighting. So are we. Unfortunately, that tiny narrow front is just screwing everything up. Let's see if we can get this guy down. I doubt it. We might. It might work. I just don't have the units there that I need. These units are pretty worn down. But his entrenchments are gone. His morale's 35. His morale's 29. I like to get it, if you can get it in the teens, that's really helpful, or at least below 20. And 21. 19. And his readiness is way down too. And still 1 to 3. That's good, but it's not, going to set the world on fire. Oh. Dope. That was a mistake. You always do better if you attack before you move, and I know that, and I did it anyway, because I was thinking about this. So now it's all sealed off. So he's been beat up, but he's still holding the line, as is this other guy. And the thrust from the other side of Verdun is, it's making progress, but it's nothing to write home about at this point. With that guy sitting up there just begging to die, because if those 2 units attack him next turn, he's toast. So, live and learn. Or, in my case, live and don't learn. And see if we can... Ooh, that's a detachment too. So, unfortunately, can we get him? More artillery. Dang, that artillery. Blam, we got him. So again, another little hole. None of these are like huge, these little holes, but they all got to be covered. So, yeah, still, I keep coming back to this thinking something's going to happen, but it doesn't. So, that's the way that goes. And let's see, we're just going to do some checking here of my units. Some of these guys, man, they need reinforcing bad. So let's get them taken care of while I can. Now, here I'm trying to find that reinforcement button where you can just go and you see them and you click on them and reinforce them, but somehow it messed up. It made certain units turn green, but I don't know, it didn't look like it looked before, so maybe they've changed it or I just screwed up. Who knows? But I'm trying to figure this out. So this little bit of the video is going to be about me trying to figure this out. Sorry. If I hadn't already had so much trouble with this stupid video, I might cut part of this or edit it, but I'm not about to now because I still have to see if I can get Windows Movie Maker to put my audio into this video and make it work. Yeah. If you've ever used Windows, well, it's not even called Movie Maker now. It's what it used to be called. It's like not a very good program, but it's all I've got. So I'm going to just say so long because we're almost done here. So thanks for watching, everybody. The next one will be better, I swear. So please stay with me, and I'll see you later.